Shut up and sit down.
What's up, guys? Resolute Kraken. We are back with Stage 3 of Dakar 2018, the game. Let's see, the first stage was really rough for me, if you guys remember. It took me like 14 minutes to do that little short stage. Stage 2, I learned to navigate a little bit better, so I think I worked my way all the way back up to 4th place overall. I don't know if I forget what I got on that stage. I think right now I'm sitting 4th overall. Actually 3rd right now. Yeah, so I'm fast forwarding a little bit for you guys. These are long stages. I mean, to sit through 45 minutes or more. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this, that the stages are so huge. I mean, I've always liked that. I've always wanted, you know, let's do something, even though it's not total one-for-one scale, still gives you that sense of these are long-ass stages, being on the bike all day. I mean, 45 minutes straight on one level, that's pretty damn fun. So the big news, if you guys haven't heard, for Dakar 2020, the real one, they are moving out of South America, I think after 11 years, and the new host is going to be Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. I was kind of surprised. I mean, it makes sense. I know some countries in Africa were trying to shop around the idea of moving back there, like South Africa, some of the more southern, southwestern Africa. But Saudi Arabia 2020, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I think it'll be pretty cool. You know, there's some, I think it has its own issues politically, depending on where you're at in the world, on your feelings of how Saudi Arabia operates. But as far as the Dakar goes, I think it's probably a good place. You know, they're really into their motorsports. You got the desert, of course. I guess I don't know enough about Saudi Arabia to know what other type of terrain do they have. Is it all just desert dunes, or do they have some mixtures? I don't even know. Do they have mountains or anything like that? I thought South America was a really good place to have it. I liked the first few years when they ran from Argentina over to Peru and Bolivia, and then get a little bit more variety of terrain, I thought, but still pretty good. So yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments about the move to Saudi Arabia. Alright, so this is a refreshing change of scenery for me. I'm honestly getting a little bit tired of the dunes. Just the same thing, running over dune over dune. I want to get some more terrain like this, you know, on some tracks, up in the mountains and stuff. So I'm hoping that further stages will be more like this. Let's get out of the dunes already. I'm going kind of slow because I'm like, I don't know where. I know I just gotta follow the track, but I don't want to go flying off the mountain. Even though wrecks in this game don't seem to punish you that much. I mean, I've launched off of some big dunes and I have not crashed. I only crashed when I was messing around and like just free ride. Ooh, see, like that should have been a crash, I think. But it wasn't, so I will see. Like I said, I hope they can, I think they've got a good base to work off with this game, like the graphics, the open world, the navigation, all of that. I think I would give it, man, at least a 9 out of 10. If they can work on their physics, especially the bike physics, for me, I mean, I drove the car in the tutorial, but if they can work on that, make these physics better, man, it would be so awesome. Yes, I am doing much better at navigating on this particular stage. I was taking my time, hitting all these caps, and I think, well, I'm in third overall right now, it still says, but, and I didn't realize this at the time, but this is a really short stage, this part of it, and I didn't realize it when it comes up. I didn't realize it was only the first part of the stage. So I was like, yeah, I won the stage. And I was like, that was shorter than the last, than stage 2. Yeah, this was only the first part. But I was killing it on navigation on this first half of the stage. Alright, and here we go. See, I thought I was done. I was like, yeah, that was short. 11 minutes 45. And then I was like, yeah, continue. And I was like, what? Wait, stage 3 again. I was like, oh, okay, Pisco to... I just missed it. So it's just continuation, I guess, you know, the second part, probably after the road section, transport section, I guess. Like, this is the real stage here. Look at how many extra waypoints there are. But I am leading. Leading the stage, at least. I'm leading it quite handily over second place. What, I'm like 7 minutes ahead. So I don't know if you guys are listening in from America or you know much about the Baja 1000. And also, if you guys have not watched the Whiskey Throttle podcast or show on YouTube, Whiskey Throttle has Grant Langston, South African motocrosser, and David Pingree. They have some great guests on there, but their last guest was Johnny Campbell. He's 11-time Baja 1000 winner on the bikes, and he's also racing the Dakar. His first time he did it was in 2001. He has some great stories about how he got that ride and his experience doing rallies. He's not a rally specialist. It was really interesting learning about, you know, all the different types of off-road racing, but he's not a rally specialist. He was what he called doing Grand Prix, and then doing the Baja 1000 was his discipline of choice. But in the recent years, he's been working with Ricky Brabec and the Honda rally team, HRC rally team. So he goes to Dakar as support, all of that. You know, he's coaching Ricky because it's Ricky Brabec is, I mean, it's his goal. He wants to be the first American to win the Dakar. But Johnny Campbell, it was an awesome interview with him. It's 3 hours long. I recommend you go. I'm going to post a link in the description and also up in your right-hand corner if you click that link there. Go check it out. Whiskey Throttle Show. It's a great podcast to listen to and watch on YouTube. And at the end of it, they had an interview with Ricky Brabec, seeing how he's doing. I guess at the Sonora Rally in Mexico, he said he had a hard crash. He thought he was okay, and then a couple weeks later, he went to another race, and he couldn't finish it. It was like I forget what kind of a race it was, another rally or GNCC or some hair scramble, I forget. It turns out he then went and got an X-rayed, and he had a broken collarbone that whole time. So he's on the mend right now, but he is definitely getting ready for Dakar 2020 in Saudi Arabia, he said. And again, he wants to be the first American. I think he's been our best shot. I mean, like I said, he's our best shot right now. I still think if Kurt Caselli wouldn't have passed away, he would eventually have won the Dakar, especially with now I'm drawing a blank. Who was the French guy that now is in cars? Hold up, let me look this up. Yeah, I was thinking of Cyril Dupre and Mark Coma. I mean, since they both retired in 2015, I mean, Kurt Caselli was coming on at that time. He would have had a fighting chance. I mean, he was on KTM also, so man, he could have done it. You know, Ricky and them are trying to do it. Him and Juan Barreda and all those guys, they're trying to do it on a Honda. You know, KTM's won the last 18 years. I definitely think Honda can do it. I hope they do, just to mix it up. I mean, I'm kind of tired of KTM winning everything in this rally. Let's have some competition. Honda's definitely been fast enough. They had some reliability problems. Johnny Campbell, he said they just had a motor problem. He was not at liberty to say what the actual problem was for Ricky. So they didn't want to give up that information of what the problem was. Yeah, so let's hope that Honda can be a little bit more reliable this year. And we're still waiting on Juan Barreda to actually finish. I think the last couple of years he's had some problems. I think last year he actually went off into a ravine or something, and he couldn't get the bike out, so he had to abandon the rally. And he's been the one that, you know, I think Honda had pinned their hopes on, at least in the last few years, when they went to South America. Ricky, though, he's the American hope, so let's go Ricky. Yeah, I thought this was a cool little section, working our way down to the ocean. I should have just kept on the gas, but I was worried. I was like, where am I going? And I don't know, like, can you swamp the bike in the water? I just went in a little bit, and I was too scared to, I didn't want to go in the water and totally be like, oh, that's the end of the rally. That was pretty cool, though, a nice little run down the beach there. Right, this hill, I totally, I'm like, I'm going straight up this thing. And then I think I let off the gas, and I totally could not make it. I don't think you could back down the hill like that. So I had to go all the way back down that hill. Nope. Let's get another run at it. I think I'll just head off to the side a little bit on the not so steep part. It's still a good climb. There we go. Made it up. Yeah, so do you guys, if you've made it this far and you guys are still watching, I appreciate it. I just want to know, what do you guys ride? What do you ride? Let me know in the comments. I've been without a dirt bike for many years. I grew up racing motocross, but then we moved to a different state. We moved to Hawaii when I was just starting high school, and Hawaii didn't really have, they had one motocross track there, and it was kind of far away. I don't think they raced every weekend, so we just never got a bike in Hawaii. I did take my 80cc there, but ended up selling it. Didn't even ride it there. And, you know, I got busy doing other stuff in Hawaii, you know, going to the beach, bodyboarding, that kind of stuff. So I didn't really miss it too much. I mean, I always miss dirt bikes. But then later in life, you know, I got some street bikes. So I had a Triumph Daytona 675. That was, oh man, I regret selling that bike. So I sold it because I went in to get new tires on it. And then I'm in the shop, and I see a Husky Supermoto, an SM510, and I'm like, well, I want a Supermoto. That'll make it easier to commute to work on instead of the street bike. So I sold the street bike, the Triumph. I so regret that. Was, oh man, that bike was so nice. I still wish I had it. Anyway, Supermoto, it was fun. You know, it was a 510 single, 4-stroke. It was no better to commute on. It was a tougher bike to ride, just power and you know, engine management. I think I had a power commander on it. You know, I just didn't like it as much, and so anyways, I sold that. I used the money to remodel my kitchen. I think that was worth it, because then we sold the house, you know, eventually, and made some money off it. So it was a good investment. Yeah, but then you know, on a whim, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, let's go to the motorcycle shop so I can pick up a new hat. And then, you know, we walk in the back. You know, they have all these used bikes outside under tents and stuff at this particular shop. And then so I'm like, what is this? It was a Honda, but it looked like a rally bike. And I was like, what is this? It was a 250L Rally. And I was like, oh man, that looks like the Dakar bike, kind of. It was really cool. Had the, you know, the windscreen that looked like it, you know, was a navigation unit. It didn't have a navigation unit, of course, but had the same kind of little windscreen that the Dakar bikes do. And it was a 250, and it was really relatively inexpensive. I think they go for 4,800, 5,000 US. So I was like, man, that's so cool. I didn't pick it up or anything, but I don't have money right now. But man, really looking at something like that in the next year or so. So then I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that's a 250. So what else do they got? So then Honda in November of 2018, they had at one of the, I think, Japanese bike shows or something, or someplace, they debuted the prototype of their 450L Rally. Oh man, so the prototype, I mean, it looks almost like Ricky Brabec's race bike, you know, the HRC teams. It's probably gonna be a lot more expensive than the 250 if it does come out. I'm hoping, you know, people are thinking maybe 2020 it'll come out. Man, I hope so. I still don't know if that's the type of bike I want. Around where I'm at, I have a lot of logging roads and stuff like that. I'd be interested in doing, you know, just some dual sport type stuff. Not sure if I really want to go full off-road right now. Kind of consigned to the fact I'm probably never going to race motocross again. I don't have the time and the money to do that, but I could definitely get into just going up in the hills right near my house, you know, on some logging roads. So we'll see. I'll see. I'm hoping that 450 is released next year, and we'll see what it's like. Yeah, so I've been lost in the dunes again on this one. I had to go back like three waypoints to get to a navigation point I could identify, and I'm still like just searching for these guys. Like, where am I? And I just cannot hit this waypoint. Cannot find it. And this is one thing I'm not sure if you guys can give me pointers on how to find waypoints once you miss them. I went back. I reset my mileage at the waypoint I knew about. But then I had to manually advance them once I got to the other waypoints because it already had, you know, authenticated that waypoint. And I think at this point I'm in the lead of this stage. So I haven't seen anybody. But I'm just floundering right here. I've gone back. I'm not going back to the waypoint again.
Sir?
What?
Are we being too literal?
No, you fool. We're following orders. We were told to comb the desert, so we're combing it.
Found anything yet? Nothing yet, sir! How about you? Not a thing, sir! What about you guys? We ain't found shit!
I just had to throw that in for you guys. So if you've watched to this point, congratulations. You got to see some cool Spaceballs references there. I hope they don't put a copyright claim on me for that, but it's whatever. I'm not monetizing this anyways because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. So if you are watching all the way to the end, I hope you're either a subscriber already or you will hit that subscribe button and the like button for me on this video. You have to get to like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time on your channel in 1 year before you can start monetizing your videos. So yeah, I'm just doing this part-time anyways, just for fun mostly. I'm learning, you know, these editing software, and it's just forcing me to play the bikes. Oh, here is somebody. So yeah, I found them. So I now have a direction. I found that waypoint finally. I'm back on track. But yeah, if you guys can share this, share my channel if you have other bike buddies that like watching this type of stuff. I mean, I appreciate it. Anything you guys can do to help me out. Ooh, and it's getting a little dark. Put on my lights. It was interesting, it had 3 levels of, I think that was Andrew Short or Quintanilla, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, this quintanilla crossed over on me and we hit. And so I lost so much time. I was leading this rally. I am now 4th place. And here's the finish line. Man, that was a rough... I only needed to find that one waypoint. We would have been there. All right, let's see how I did. Okay, first overall. I was still 4 minutes ahead, but man, I was way ahead of him before. And I'm still 4th overall, but I think I made up a lot of time. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you on the next one.